Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around the NFL lately, and it's got a lot of Steelers fans excited, or maybe a little anxious. It's about the ongoing player movements, the signings, and the potential shifts in team dynamics that could reshape the AFC North in ways we haven't seen in years. You see, the Steelers, as many of you already know, have been quietly building a roster that's not just talented, but also hungry for success. And every move in the league right now seems to be pointing toward a very interesting future. But today, I want to focus on a story that might seem distant at first, but actually ties into the bigger picture of what's happening around us, especially when it comes to player ambitions and team fit, something that could very well influence how the Steelers approach their offseason plans and strategic moves. Let's start with the broader NFL landscape, because the league is buzzing with activity. Teams are making bold moves, looking for that edge, that piece that will push them over the top. And with Justin Simmons, the talented safety who's currently an unrestricted free agent, making headlines recently, we need to understand what this means for teams, including the Steelers. Simmons, as many of you know, has been one of the most reliable and versatile defenders in the league over the past few seasons. His leadership, football IQ, and ability to play both in coverage and against the run make him a prime target for teams looking to solidify their secondary. But what he's telling the media now is especially interesting. Simmons has been very clear about what he's seeking in his next team. He wants a culture that values hard work, a long-term vision, and a genuine commitment to player development and team success. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. What does this have to do with the Steelers? Well, everything, actually. Because the Steelers have always been known for their strong organizational culture, their emphasis on building through the draft, and their focus on character and leadership in their locker room. That's been a hallmark of their success, especially under Mike Tomlin's leadership. And if a player like Simmons, who is known for his leadership on and off the field, is looking for that kind of environment, it's no surprise that the Steelers might be a team to keep an eye on. His desire for a team that values collective effort, long-term goals, and a winning mentality aligns perfectly with what Pittsburgh has traditionally offered. Plus, let's not forget the current state of the Steelers' roster. They're coming off a season that had its ups and downs, but overall, there's a sense that the team is building something special. The defense, in particular, has been a strong point, with young talents like TJ Watt, who's arguably one of the best pass rushers in the league, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, a game-changing safety who's been critical to their secondary success. But adding a player like Simmons could take that unit to another level. His experience, football intelligence, and leadership qualities would fit right into the Steelers' blueprint. It's about adding that piece that can help the team not just compete, but dominate in the AFC North and beyond. Now, I want to pause here for a moment because this is really the core of what's happening. Justin Simmons, a player who's been a staple of Denver's defense, is seeking a team that matches his values that the Steelers have in spades. And if the Steelers decide to go after him, it could send a message to the rest of the league that they're serious about retooling and competing at the highest level. It's not just about adding talent for talent's sake. It's about strategic acquisitions, about players who want to be part of a winning culture, who are willing to grow and contribute over the long haul. Simmons' desire for a long-term project also suggests he's looking for stability and a team that's committed to winning seasons for years to come. And that, my fellow Steelers fans, is where the excitement really ramps up. Because the Steelers, under the current management and coaching staff, have been very clear about their plans. They want to build a roster that combines veteran leadership with young talent, a team that's aggressive on defense, creative on offense, and relentless in pursuit of victory. The possibility of bringing in someone like Simmons, who embodies those qualities, makes us all wonder about what's next. Could this be the move that pushes them over the top? Could Simmons be the final piece that helps them contend for another Super Bowl? Well, that's the kind of discussion that keeps us all glued to our screens, isn't it? And speaking of the team's future, let's talk about some of the big expectations for the upcoming season. The Steelers have made some savvy moves in free agency, signing players who fit their system and culture, and drafting young talent with high upside. But they're also looking to fill some gaps, especially in the secondary, where consistency has been a bit of a concern at times. Adding a player of Simmons' caliber would not only bolster that unit, but also send a message that Pittsburgh is serious about competing in the AFC. Remember, the AFC is stacked right now. Teams like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo are all loaded with talent. The Steelers need to find their edge, their X factor, and perhaps Simmons could be that guy. Now, if we look at Simmons' career, it's quite impressive. He's been a Pro Bowler, a leader on his team, and someone who consistently makes plays when it matters most. His stats over the past few seasons highlight his impact: multiple interceptions, tackles, and a knack for reading the game. But what really sets him apart is his leadership, his presence on the field and in the locker room. That's exactly the kind of energy the Steelers thrive on, especially under a coach like Tomlin, who emphasizes discipline, character, and resilience. Bringing in a veteran like Simmons would not only improve the secondary, but also serve as a mentor for younger players coming up, which is crucial for sustained success. And let's be honest, this is the kind of move that could electrify the fanbase. Imagine the Steelers' secondary with Simmons roaming the backfield, making calls, and leading the defense. It's a scenario that raises the team's ceiling considerably. Plus, the Steelers have the cap space and the flexibility to make moves like this happen if they see fit. They're always strategic, balancing the present with the future, and Simmons fits that mold perfectly. Now, I want to touch on the broader implications. If the Steelers do land Simmons, what does that say about their approach? It would certainly send a message to the rest of the league. They're not just content to rebuild, they're here to contend now. It would also boost morale and confidence within the team, knowing that management is serious about making bold moves to get back to the top. The AFC North rivalry is fierce, and every addition counts. The Bengals, Ravens, and Browns are all building strong rosters, so Pittsburgh needs to respond with intent and purpose. And speaking of the AFC North, it's one of the most competitive divisions in football right now. The Ravens are reshaping their secondary, the Bengals are loaded with young talent, and the Browns are quietly becoming a force with their revamped roster. For the Steelers, every move counts. They need to stay aggressive, strategic, and focused on their long-term goals. Simmons could be the piece that gives them that extra edge, especially in high-stakes playoff games where every play, every tackle, and every leadership moment makes all the difference. Now, for the fans watching, I know you're eager to see what's next. Will the Steelers pull the trigger and sign someone like Simmons, or will they look elsewhere? That's the big question. But one thing is for sure, Pittsburgh is always in the mix, always looking for ways to improve, and always driven by that relentless Steelers spirit that refuses to accept anything less than greatness. And as we look forward to the offseason, free agency, and the draft, keep in mind that every decision, every signing, and every move is part of a bigger plan. The Steelers are aiming high, and they're not afraid to make bold choices to get there. Now, I want to remind all of you out there, this is what makes following the NFL and the Steelers so exciting. We get to see the puzzle pieces come together, witness the drama unfold, and dream about that next Super Bowl appearance. And if Simmons does join Pittsburgh, it could be a defining moment for this franchise, a step toward reclaiming their place at the top of the league. The history, the passion, the relentless pursuit of excellence, those are the things that make Steelers fans so unique, so proud, and so determined. We've seen this team overcome adversity before, and I truly believe that with the right moves, with the right attitude, they can do it again. So to all the Steelers faithful out there, stay tuned. Keep your hopes high and your eyes on the prize. The offseason is just getting started, and the best is yet to come. Whether it's free agency, trades, or draft day surprises, Pittsburgh is always in the mix, always fighting for that next championship. And as we wait for more news, remember that every piece of this puzzle is part of a bigger picture. A picture of resilience, determination, and a true Steel spirit that refuses to back down. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our beloved Steelers. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.